Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Wilson Large, producer-director of Dark Darkness, a fantasy comedy adventure web series about four misfits who meet at a darkness convention and must learn how to be friends in order to survive. I hope you'll check out our pilot season. We'll have the link below. Now today I have with us Garvin Eddy, who is our production designer on episodes 3 and 4. And it was a huge win for Dark Darkness to get Garvin Eddy on the show, and he has 40 years of Hollywood experience, has worked on many shows. So Garvin, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell some of our viewers what shows in your career were the most fun to work on.
Well, I guess probably the standouts in the career that of the 40 years that I worked in Hollywood. The Cosby Show, which unfortunately has had a few negative things.
It's gone a little dark.
A little dark, but it did change television, for sure. We talked a lot about what it was going to mean to the black community, and I think that that's what was most important to me on that show as a production designer, was that I was able to portray a black family, and that one was a doctor, one was a lawyer. It was something that was new for television. Nobody had ever seen that before. The other show that probably was the most interesting to me was Roseanne, especially, for instance, the famous Afghan that sat on the back
of
the sofa. And actually, that sofa and the Afghan ended up going to the Smithsonian Institute after the show.
Do you have any advice or tips for people who want to get into production design?
I would say that the people who are interested in production design should probably try to see if there are local theater productions around where they live. Usually small theaters want you because they want free help, basically. And so they'll say, sure, come on in and help us build a set, or help us do the lights, or help us, whatever. And
so just kind of get in there.
You just get your hands dirty and see whether you enjoy being around, the performing arts.
What are some elements that someone could remember in discussing production design with their production designer?
Collaboration is key to any of the aspects of the arts. Okay. When you work in theater, or you work in film, or other types of collaborative art, you're working with a group of people. You're not, you're working with somebody who has written it. You're working with a director who has a vision. You're working with a producer who might have a vision. The key part of the collaborative process is to sit down and listen to each other's ideas.
And I want to personalize that question a little bit with my experience and working with you. I'd like to think that what I gave you in the script was helpful, and I say that only because what I got back was exactly what I had imagined, that in terms of the renderings and your first mock-up. What was helpful to you in working with Dark Darkness?
When it boils down to when I teach design, I say, okay, you have to take what somebody has written and you have to turn that into a real thing. And that's the production designer's job, is turning words into an environment. When I teach kids, I make them stop writing a lot and I make them draw.
And I think it's important to interject really quick that you are a teacher at UBC. You do teach production design. So when you say you teach kids, you're an actual
The kids I'm
teacher.
talking about are college kids. And so what I make them do is I want them to start doing a visual diary. In other words, I make them just go out and do little sketches and drawings every day, because I said you have to start working in a visual vocabulary here and stop working only with words. Okay, you have to start thinking about, what is your set going to look like? What are the colors going to be? The textures. What's going to help support this story? Look what the production design added to the movie Blade Runner. Okay.
Sure.
And
Alien.
Alien. It's a big part of what is this movie trying to convey? What's the message, if there is a message? What is the feeling that you want the audience to feel? And so those are all things that have to be assessed. They have to be discussed with producers and directors and writers, and then everybody has to get on the same page. Because when you don't get on the same page, it never works very well.
We are working together on Dark Darkness. You are a co-executive producer, and we are moving forward into season 1. Can you talk to us real quick about what it is about Dark Darkness that made you want to get on board?
I think that you have developed, you know, 4 characters here, and I think what's so interesting about it is the fact that now we've seen them kind of individually. Okay, now in the first episodes, we're going to see them all together. And then also we get to now see where Dr. Darkness lives, okay? And so that's what's going to be the most fascinating thing, is to come up with this,
I get goosebumps
this environment, talking about where where he lives, what's going on there, who he is or who he isn't. And I think it now has turned into the adventure. You know, the first 4 kind of little mini episodes are simply just part of the exposition to say, here are 4 characters, and now we're going to move into what the story is, you know, what the story is really about.
I couldn't agree with you more. Obviously, I love the characters. They've been swimming around in my head for the last 9 years. I'm glad you agree, and that they are super fun, super exciting to be with. I hope that you get a chance to check them out. Meet Ronald, Mordecai, Ganamazul, and Jerry the Snake Man. All fantabulous characters, and we've got an episode for each one of them. You can see them in their own elements. You can see the wonderful production design that Garvin brought to Ganamazul's Gambit and Snake Man's Solitude. And I hope you'll subscribe to this channel and you'll come see some more of our behind-the-scene vlogs. Thank you, Garvin, for being with us.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next time. Bye! Gotta wave bye. Bye!